So we've been talking about a lot of Donald Trump's criminality, but Ivanka Trump is actually emerging as a contender for some pretty serious criminality here and a lot of cases that she could be in. Now, there's one that she had tweeted about yesterday that she was at a deposition for, and basically she's being prosecuted by a DC Attorney General. Because essentially what happened was it's all about a misuse of inauguration funds. So pretty much what's going on is they held like the inauguration celebration or wherever at the Trump Hotel, and they obviously used the inauguration funds to hold it at the Trump Hotel, which is kind of funneling money to yourself, right? And so what the Attorney General is alleging is that the price that the Trump campaign used from the inauguration funds, the amount that they took from the inauguration funds to pay for the Trump Hotel, was way too much money, and basically it's funneling money from the inauguration funds to yourself. And this is the kind of stuff that becomes a lot of problems when you have all of these different business ventures, and honestly all that stuff should prevent you from even being president of the United States. But basically the Attorney General is saying that Ivanka Trump is lying. Ivanka Trump was making the claims that this is basically she was basically saying this is a witch hunt in different words, pretty much. She said this inquiry is another politically motivated demonstration of vindictiveness and waste of taxpayer dollars. But the Attorney General, the DC Attorney General, says, with all due respect to Ivanka Trump, what she put out today was highly misleading and at best part of the story. It says in January, Racine sued the Trump organization and the Presidential Inauguration Committee, alleging that the groups misused more than $1 million in raised funds to grossly overpay for event space at the Trump Hotel in D.C. during the 2017 inauguration. Trump shared a screenshot of a single email from December 14, 2016, in which she instructed Mikhail Damelincourt, the managing director at Trump International Hotel in Washington, to, quote, call and negotiate. It should be a fair market rate. However, Racine told Maddow that Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, a former advisor to First Lady Melania Trump, expressed concerns about how much the hotel was looking to charge the inauguration committee. Wolkoff, who was on the inauguration planning team, suggested price caps on the rental fee. Racine shared the email on Twitter dated December 17, 2016. So it says, I wanted to follow up on our conversation and express my concern. These are events in PE's honor at his hotel, and one of them is with and for family and close friends. Please take into consideration that when this is audited, it will become public knowledge that locations were also gifted and costs underwritten to lower rental fees. I understand that compared to the original pricing, this is great, but we should look at the whole context. In my opinion, the max rental fee should be $85,000 per day. Lunch is approximately $300 to $500, reception $1,000. Thank you, Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, President and CEO. And so I believe she's the one who was, like Melania's advisor, I think, and she was the one who was really sort of the smoking gun on this whole situation in the first place, I believe. It says Racine told Maddow that the committee paid $175,000 for the space in the Trump Hotel, adding that for the presidential prayer breakfast, it cost just $5,000 for the same space. $175,000 charged to the inauguration committee, $5,000 charged for another not-for-profit. Doesn't sound like a fair market rate to me. So again, basically, it's funneling the inauguration funds to yourself, enriching yourself from the inauguration funds, and I'm pretty sure that's illegal. So that's essentially what's going on in this situation. A lot of people are talking about potential pardons. Now, I don't really know whether or not a federal pardon would even save Ivanka Trump in this case. This is a Washington, D.C. Attorney General. Washington, D.C. is not a state, so not really state-level charges, but it's not a federal Attorney General either. So I really have no idea. I mean, a little bit confusing there, but Ivanka is definitely going to be fishing for a pardon because there's going to be a lot of stuff that she's going to come up for like this, like enriching yourself off of inauguration funds. But it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. Ivanka Trump might find herself in a lot of trouble.